What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for jumping into another video. My name is Josh and I am just your average Joe day trader. Guys, if this is your first time visiting the channel, thank you so much for stopping by. Hit the subscribe button when you get a chance, hit the like button, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Well, let's talk a little bit about the market today, guys. It is a day, guys. It's been a day. There's been so much in the news today that has really caused the market to burn, right? And I won't say like burn on fire, like rocket fire, like going to the moon burn, like it's all burning down right now. Matter of fact, here, take a look at Yahoo Finance News with me, which I look at, as my main news source. But you can see right here, guys, look at all sectors except what I've been saying, what I've been talking about the last couple of days, energy. The energy sector is green right now. Oil, wind mitigation, okay? The different energy stocks are green. Only 0.79% green, but 0.79% green is better than negative 0.79 because you look at the rest of the stocks, they're all red. And my favorite, the biggest and baddest one in the group right here, energy, is down 0.69%. And it's almost 30% of the market weight. So a lot going on in the market today. And you can see the breakdown in percentages of technology, financial services, my two favorites, and then all the rest of these sectors working its way down. But I told you guys, energy is the one to run to when there's all kinds of chaos going on in the news and the media that in essence is going to be affected by what's happening in the market, like wars, like things happening, the conflict in Israel and Iran, the things between, in the Gaza Strip. All that causes the market to fluctuate for volatility. And energy is one that is a very good area to get into during this time. Also, the other area to get into is utilities. I love to run utilities. It's not green. It's not green right now. It's red too. But utilities, when there's different types of volatility in the market, utilities is a good, safe bet to put your money if you want to do some day trading and make some money. Anyway, let's just go straight to looking at some of this news that's happened today, and just going to give you some of the highlights, right? So first and foremost, guys, we are gearing up for, and just like it says here in the news, investors brace for Fed signal on 2025 rate cuts. So Wednesday, we are expecting to see what Fed Commissioner Jerome Powell is going to do with the rate cuts, if there's going to be even rate cuts at all. So there's a lot of sentiment in the news right now and in the market about understanding what Jerome Powell's going to say. And I've told you in every video I've ever talked about Jerome Powell, not my favorite guy in the world. But every time he gets in front of that, all he's got to do right there in that picture is get up there in front of that podium, and he ends up causing the stock market to crash. So, guys, this week is an unusual week because of the volatility of this potential war, the conflict. But just be careful because this is something else that does typically cause the market to drop down a little bit. There's a few things in here, guys, in the news today, that some positive, some negative, but the Senate passed a stablecoin bill, which is a major victory for the crypto world. And that's something that's going to be interesting to see how that affects Bitcoin, XRP, Pepe, all those different Bitcoin that are out there. And then obviously there's some concern about the Supreme Court having a chance to say, to have final say on the tariffs and what's happening. There was news yesterday that the UK and the US have finally come to a deal. Hadn't seen anything new or anything else about it today. Waiting to see that. But at the end of the day, the stock market started pretty good, pretty strong this morning. And as the news came in about us having our military planes in Iranian airspace, and that Israel and the United States really kind of control the airspace over Iran, but we are in the airspace in Iran right now. And so obviously, I personally don't really want us to be involved in this conflict, but we have an obligation to assist Israel if it comes to that. And listen, it is what it is, but we'll see how that all plays out. I'm not a guy who ever on my channel likes to talk about politics and all that, but we do have to take a stand. We do have to take a stand. So we'll see what kind of happens over the next few days. All right, so let's go straight to the actual charts. And if you guys don't know, I always use my Webull account for these videos. If you guys don't have a Webull account and you want to open one and get some free money, some free stocks, then right here down in the description, click the link. You can open a Webull account, get up to 20 free fractional shares of stock. Guys, it's free money. Why not? Just by depending on how much money you fund your account with, but a great opportunity to put some money in the account and to open that account with free stock in it. All right, let's jump right into the S&P 500, guys. You're going to see we closed down in the after hours, after market. We're down even more. We're down about 1.39%, $596.15 or 5961, 5,961 points. Closed at 5,975 points. But guys, kind of take a look at this, right? Yesterday, look at this amazing post-market run up into the pre-market run up. I mean, you're talking, a really strong rally all the way up to the high point of a closing of 6,042 points. And then it spent a good part of yesterday just kind of running down, and then opened up more news about what was happening with Iran and Israel. So it dropped back out, bottomed down, continued to be that trend, dropped down this morning, and then it worked its way back up in the pre-market and had some decent upward trend in the early morning hours, and then just dumped again. And it continued to dump into the post-market, but now it's on an uptrend, which is good. I told you guys I always look at the S&P 500 at night before I go to bed just to see what's happening with it, and then I look at it in the morning to see how did it open at 4 a.m. and what's going on with it. And it is, S&P 500 runs 24 hours. I always like to understand the volatility of the S&P 500 because it helps me to understand how I'm going to trade, how I'm going to get in and out of day trade stocks. Because a lot of the stocks that I typically trade, technology stocks, they do run sort of, parallel to the S&P 500, and then some of the big boys, some of the the Mag sevens, stocks like Nvidia and Google, Meta, et cetera. But it's on a good run up here a little bit, and it's a little bit of a horizontal right now, but we'll see. And then I look at Nvidia because Nvidia, again, look, Nvidia tends to always match the S&P 500. That's a really good thing because if you go to my absolute favorite stock, you're going to see here that that's APLD. And guys, I'm going to tell you, I traded APLD today. I was up like almost $300 in the early morning. So let me show this to you. This is crazy. So it's been a good part of the night kind of running up. Then it continued to jump up, and then it sort of worked its way back down, and boom. And this is like every morning I've been noticing, like look, 7:30 in the morning, a pump. Okay. 8 o'clock in the morning, boom, a pump, right? 8:30, where's 8:30? 8:30 in the morning, not as much. And then 9:30 when the market opened, it dropped hard. It ran all the way up here to $11.78, dropped all the way hard, and then did its thing running up. I was here in these candles and had a chance to close it out at about $11.30 something cents. And you know what I did? I said, you know what? I'm not comfortable with that today, so I swung it. I swung it. I swang it. I'm swinging it. So I am in at $11.17, and I think there's a good chance that it's going to probably catch that in the night hours because it ran down a little bit, and now it had this pump. It went up. It's come back down a little bit. It's sitting at, let's see, what is that? $11. For some reason, my after hours is not showing on here. I don't know why. Even though this says 1094. So we'll see what happens, but I think there's a chance I'll wake up in the morning and I'm already going to be back in profit, and that's typically what happens with APLD, and I'm not worried about it. But guys, let's spend a few minutes. Let's kind of look at some of these average Joe day trade stocks. What did we do today? How did we perform? You already know the market took a dump late in the day, but I showed you APLD. Serve Robotics pretty much on a downward trend. Ford did the same thing on a downward trend. I'm probably going to be pulling GTX off that top day trade stock list because it's just not performing as good as I would like for a stock that I trade daily. It does have some good momentum, every day. And of course, I'm on the 15-minute. But I don't think it's enough for me, guys. From $10.26 to $10.37. And it's kind of like you're waiting a long time for that. That's you're talking 10:30 all the way to almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to keep watching it. SoundHound is absolutely one that's a beautiful day trade stock. Look at this today. If you got in SoundHound, you got in at 957. You ran that bad boy all the way up to $9.93. That's a nice run first at open today. And then it did like everything else did. It dropped. IAG, okay, guys, I've told you, just like utilities, gold, silver, those types of stocks do very well during times like this. Look at this run today. I mean, $7.38 all the way up to about $7.56. Nice run. CMX Cement sort of had a down and then an up, not too bad. Grab, which is the somewhere in Korea or Japan, the next Uber Eats kind of thing, not too bad. SLDB also had a pretty interesting run up. And this is a bioscience, solid bioscience company, but not too bad today, and then dropped with everybody else. And BBAI, guys, BBAI was the winner, I think, today for me. Look at this beautiful, you could have started in the pre-market at $4.03 and ran it all the way up here to about $4.38. Not too bad. Let's look very quickly at the new day trade stocks in here. Remember, some of these are higher priced. Oklo, OKLO. There it is. Hit kind of a really interesting low here. But what happens when I see stocks like this go down and I say they're the best for day trading? What do I tell you? This is the best time to buy, because look, people could have bought in at 61.79 and got out of it at 60. Where are we? $63. Okay, that's a nice swing for a stock. HIMS, just a crazy day for HIMS, but a good chance to make some money there. QUBT ran up really nicely in the morning. You notice they all followed the same trend this morning until we had our F-16s launched into the Iranian airspace, and then pretty much it took a dump. And Trump talked live today about healthcare and what he's doing with healthcare and the big beautiful bill, so that also did affect the market. Should have shared that with you earlier. QBTS did a nothing but pretty much a drop down today, and at the end of the market ran back up. Pony AI had a pretty phenomenal morning, $12.22, and it ran all the way up here to $12.97. Not bad. APLD, we've talked about that already. I don't want to see the alerts. And WeRide, WRD, not a very good day for those. So, and then let's go to the mid-priced ones real quick. Ionic also had a good day, 36.86. You could have ran 36.86 all the way up to about 38.64. Not bad. Are you guys seeing what I'm talking about? $1 to $3 per share. That's pretty good. Carnival Cruise Lines ran up pretty good this morning and then dropped with everything else. So did JetBlue, guys. I'm in JetBlue for a long-term hold. It's almost to $4. Heartbreaking. And Intel had a really nice morning run up. I actually was watching Intel this morning when it opened up. It was about $20 to 63 cents. Ran it all the way up here to $21.48. Not too bad, but there's a lot of volatility in Intel right now. And the last one is the high dollar movers, which are super high dollar. But Tesla's down, guys. This hurt my feelings today, not going to lie. But Tesla pretty much had a run down and then is on its way back up a little bit in the post market. NVIDIA, sort of this crazy NVIDIA today. I'm going to open it up a little bit. Not bad. Kind of an interesting run up today. A lot of people were excited about NVIDIA and what it was doing, but then with everything else, it dropped. And look, it's having a recovery, which is why APLD was jumping up as well. Palantir, pretty much just a solid run down. End of the day market coming back up. AMD, nice run up initially. It actually dropped all the way down here to $125. Came all the way up here to $130, $5 swing first thing in the morning. Not bad if you wanted to buy AMD. Everyone's talking about buying AMD, and guess what now, guys? AMD's at a discount because you can buy it back down here at about $125. Robinhood had a rough drop day today and then recovered sort of towards the end of the day. And SMCI, Super Microcomputing, had a nice run up first thing here in the morning, but the rest of the day spent it on a downslope. So guys, all I'm going to tell you is be careful right now. Make sure that you really are confident in the stocks you're getting into, because of the volatility and the news is causing a lot of that market trend up and down. I recommend that just be cautious. I am telling you guys right now, I've said it a million times, in a down market where everything's running down, I'm going to still make money because I'm finding those stocks that I that I believe are bulls. And I'm going to make money in day trade in a down market, an up market. And I know I sound like an options trader. If it's running down, I'm going to buy the bear. If I'm running up, I'm going to buy the bull. But guys, there's opportunities all day long for stocks to run up and run down. You just have to know your support and resistance levels, know your candlestick patterns, understand how to trade in and out of them, and you guys will be fine. Anyway, again, if you hadn't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video, and click those likes for me. And lastly, guys, hit some comments, put some comments in there for me. Ask me questions. I love the questions. I've got one I actually need to answer tonight that I saw earlier about the oil stocks, and I'm going to get to that one for you tonight. I think Mace actually put that one out there. Thanks for the question, Mace. And also, if you're interested in joining a Discord, free of charge, not charging anybody to get in it, we're just going to start off light and easy, just being able to text each other as a group, share information. I've already created the Discord for Average Joe Day Trader, put a lot of information in there to launch it. I think we've got 3 or 4 people interested right now. Once I hit 5 people, I'm going to launch it as a small group. We'll start to build that community. When it gets to a certain point with a certain number of people, probably we'll go to where we're going to charge people to join it. But anyway, if you want to get in, go and hit, there's a post that's a poll, hit the poll so you show the interest, and I'll get that invite out there as soon as we get enough people. Guys, have a great night. Be careful. Watch the market in the morning, see what it's going to do. Let's get rich together. Josh out. Peace.